everybody, my name is Eric Hopkins and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're finding me for the very first time or you are a returning viewer and have not yet done so, please click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. So with all these cinematic universes going around here in the world of Hollywood and movies, they all need to have some sort of catchy name, of course, associated with those universes. Of course, we've got the Marvel Cinematic Universe over at Marvel Studios with the Avengers and things like that, or the MCU. We've also got the DC Extended Universe, or the DCEU, for the Worlds of DC, or whatever they're calling it over there at Warner Brothers. It was never officially branded the DCEU, but that's just what a lot of people have been calling it. Of course, a lot of people over there also want to see more of the Snyderverse, which we probably won't get, but never say never to. So everybody's got a universe out there. We had the Dark Universe that was going to be over at Universal with the Mummy and Tom Cruise and Johnny Depp with the Invisible Man and all this crazy stuff too. So it's all about branding. And so Sony has had a couple different names for their Spider-Man worlds that they've been using ever since the Sam Raimi trilogy with Tobey Maguire, or the Amazing Spider-Man duology with Mark Webb, and of course Andrew Garfield playing the character over there. And of course now we've got Tom Hardy leading the Venom movies as well. So Sony's been referred to as the Venomverse, or they originally called it the Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters, or SPUMC, SPUMC. Yep, that was the name they were going with for a while. But apparently, since they're now starting to tie all of these things together, and from way back in the day, from the Raimi movies to the end of the Spider-Verse animated movie to Venom and Morbius and all these things they've got playing over at Sony, they've now officially changed their name to, quote, Sony's Spider-Man Universe. How original, right? So let's go over here and check out this news article from the Direct. Sony changes name of the Spider-Man movie universe featuring Venom, Morbius, and more. The way that Sony has handled things with their Spider-Man franchises has often been considered questionable among fans. While they may have a deal with Marvel Studios for the use of the Spider-Man character in their films, it hasn't stopped them from going forward with projects related to the web slinger, but just not without him. Their first project in this vein was Venom. One which seemed to be a hit despite lukewarm critical reception. Either way, it did well enough to warrant a sequel. Venom Let There Be Carnage, one that is set to bring the murderous red symbiote to life for the first time in live action, is scheduled to be released in October of this year, as long as it don't get delayed. There are a lot of rumors about that, but I tried to discuss how Sony debunked those rumors in a video of mine here on the channel, so go check that out as well. Their slate doesn't end there, though, with the studio having Morbius set for the next January, as well as the solo film focusing on Spidey's classic villain Kraven the Hunter in the works. With all these projects, the appearance of Spider-Man in any of them still hasn't looked all that likely. The universe in which these films existed used to be called the SPUMC, or Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel Characters. At CinemaCon this week, Sony Studios announced a brand new label for their Spidey-related films, one which may indicate a future with the webhead's inclusion. The plot thickens. At CinemaCon, Sony officially revealed that the SPUMC was getting a new name. Going forward, all of their films related to various Spider-Man characters will be in a combined universe called Sony's Spider-Man Universe. The new name is pretty notable, as it now includes Spider-Man front and center, something that seemingly hints that the web slinger's role in the proceedings could be in the near future. So what's changed for the studio to just now be adding Spider-Man to the label of their cinematic universe? Well, there was that snafu between them and Marvel Studios where they, kind of teased a breakup. One in which both production companies got past, but there was likely a compromise between the two that allowed the use of the famous superhero in both universes. If Sony is now set to use Peter Parker in their films, their popularity and overall success will likely skyrocket. After all, who doesn't want to see Tom Holland go up against Venom and or Carnage? Maybe fans will even get to see a proper adaptation of the famous comic book storyline Kraven's Last Hunt, something which probably won't happen until after the villain is done dealing with the chameleon in possibly his solo film. The next film in Sony's Spider-Man Universe, or the SSU, I guess is what it'll be called now, will be Venom Let There Be Carnage on October 15th, followed by Morbius on January 21st, 2022. Of course, in between those two is the MCU Spider-Man No Way Home, a film that finally got its first trailer this week, so which you can also find my reaction for that on the channel as well. Go check it out. And the film looks quite the insane ride it could be. So yeah, this makes all the sense in the world, because if the rumors and of course the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home indicated that the universes of the Spider-Man worlds that we've seen up to this point on film could be colliding in Spider-Man No Way Home. We obviously got the confirmation of Alfred Molina's Doc Ock appearing in that trailer. So the Tobey Maguire version of Doc Ock is in this film. Now, could this be a Doc Ock from, the current Peter Parker played by Tom Holland's, timeline? Could he be just from his timeline in this film? That could be the case, and it could just look like him. But if they're going to be, converging the multiverse and things like that Doctor Strange is apparently the cause of in this movie, chances are it's the same Alfred Molina from the Spider-Man 2 film. And of course, as some of these, pictures indicate, we're going to be getting Michael Keaton as the Vulture. We're going to be getting Jared Leto's Morbius. We've got J. Jonah Jameson, who was in the Sam Raimi version of the films with Tobey Maguire as well. And of course, we had hints at the Green Goblin in this trailer. We had hints of Electro with Jamie Foxx. We had hints of the Sandman played by Thomas Hayden Church, I believe is his name. We've got, of course, Venom and Carnage. We've got all these different interpretations of these characters. We got the Lizard, who could be in this movie as well. And if we're going to be combining all these Spider-Man movies, even though they were in separate universes before, and bringing them into the same Spider-Man world where he could be jumping different universes, much like Miles Morales did in the Into the Spider-Verse animated film, it makes all the sense in the world to change the name of this universe from SPUMC to putting Spider-Man at the forefront here. And we could be getting multiple different versions of Spider-Man throughout all these different movies. We could be getting Gwen Stacy, hopefully played by Emma Stone, from another universe coming in to play Spider-Gwen. We could be getting, Kirsten Dunst coming back as Mary Jane. We're obviously going to be getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back to play their Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home. Could we even possibly see sequels to those films continuing on here and just having different Spider-Man? Warner Brothers and DC have multiple different Batmans going on at the same time, with Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson in a different separate universe, and of course we've got Michael Keaton returning, who is also a Vulture in this universe. So who's to say you can't have multiple Spider-Man at one time? That would be an absolutely great thing to see as well, and I think it would just make a lot of sense to bring all these together. Even Kevin Feige himself had said that Spider-Man is one of the characters in the MCU apparently who can jump between universes, and he has the unique ability to do so. How is he going to learn how to do that? Possibly in Spider-Man No Way Home, we could be getting our answer, and that would allow Tom Holland to even continue to play Peter Parker in the Venom world with Morbius, Kraven the Hunter, you name it, they can do it over there with all the Spider-Man characters that Sony owns. I think this could be a great thing. Much like the X-Men universe when it was owned by Fox, they did give us a lot of good movies. Some not so good too, but they did give us a lot of great content, and I think that the Sony movies with Spider-Man, they've had their misses as well, but they've also had some home runs. So you've got to give them credit where it's due, and hopefully they'll make this work. And if they can work in conjunction with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios, where we can get Spider-Man and the MCU with the Avengers or whatever the new team might be, I think that's a nice, marriage between the two companies. So I think it's in best interest for Sony and Disney both to extend this deal whenever the current deal expires when it comes to, the final appearance of Tom Holland in the MCU. I think it would make the most sense to extend it and continue to work under this current deal and even, have more appearances where he can jump from Sony's world and, of course, the MCU. And I think it would be a great marriage between the two companies as long as they continue to do that. So the real question here is, though, guys, what do you guys think about the fact that Sony has officially rebranded their Spider-Man universe, and they are now calling it the SSU, or Sony's Spider-Man Universe? Please comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. And until my next video, guys, take care.